Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Pavel here again, and today we're going to talk about new ESCs by Bioboards. So what you see in my hands is BioX V1 and also BioX V2. These are brand new ESCs designed by Bioboards. If you don't know what Bioboards are, that's this powerful board right here on my shelf, 4x4, super duper, really fast board. If you want to know just a little bit more about this board, take a look at the video in the description below. I have reviewed this board already and I have more videos coming. But anyway, let's get back to the ESCs. So, for people who don't know, what is ESC? ESC stands for Electronic Speed Controller. This is the brain of your board. This is what is controlling your motor, your braking, your speed, your regeneration, and many other things. So Bioboards have, actually, before we carry on, let me make you interested. So this ESC right here can handle 80 volt, but is though recommended to use it up to 16S, so 67.2 volt. This ESC can support 125 motor amps and 120 amps per side of ESC, so 240 amps constant from your battery. That is very impressive. The reason why I was interested in this ESC is because my own build, the Bullet, I've got some Tramper Vesks. And even though they are really good, I do top out, and sometimes when I push my board really hard, and I do push my boards quite hard, take a look at my videos, you know what I'm talking about, sometimes ESC does cut out on my board because I just reached the top set limit in the Vesk. So I needed something stronger. That's why I've chosen BioX. Yes, I will clear it up straight away. It is almost Spinted. It's not a secret. Bioboards worked with Spinted, which is ESC right here, which is similar but not quite 100% identical to what you see in my hands. So there are some differences in actual hardware which are quite important, but we'll cover that further down this video. So let's go back to these two beautiful boxes. One of you guys watching this video probably already ordered or has one of these. It's a green box, green top, green bottom. That's the BioX V1. The other one in my hands right here is the BioX V2. Does have slight changes to it, and I will cover them in a second as well. They are both really good ESCs, so regardless which one you've got, you still got yourself a good ESC. This is an overview video, guys. I will not be testing this ESC in this video. However, as soon as I make this video and release it, this ESC will go straight into my build, and I will set my motors up quite high and take her for a spin. So yes, I will make an update video if you are interested for this ESC and this performance in real life. By the way, just in case if you are thinking about getting one of these, I have made a deal with Bioboards. The deal is, if you buy one of these, you can buy the Metro Pro, and I'll explain to you later what it is, at 25% discount. And this is the code you use when you check out, right here, Pavel ESC. So you get one of these and the Metro Pro dongle at 25% discount. That's not bad. These ESCs are already discounted on Bioboards website from $429 to $399. So let me bring you just a little bit closer to me, and we will go over a bit more specs of these beautiful ESCs. And just before we proceed, let's hear a few words from Marcus, director of Bioboards, about his new ESC unit.
Hi guys, this is Marcus from Bioboards. Thank you, Pavel, for inviting me. And today I will speak short about our new motor controller, BioX, that we made together with Spinted. So it's based on U-Box. As you probably see, it looks quite the same shape, but there is some difference. It's a full aluminum case for better cooling. It's a thicker PCB with more copper inside, so it supports higher ampere. It's 16S voltage support, or well, it's actually up to 80 voltage, but there is some voltage spikes that might appear, so it's recommended to max use it as 16S. We use different connectors, so it's easy to connect to the motor. You also get included for battery side a XT90S connector for anti-spark protection. And we also include a button with four-wheel drive support. You can connect it to both if you're running four-wheel drive, so you don't have to use two buttons, one for each. And if you order two BioX, you get the included CAN bus cable also, so you can connect them together. You will also receive European support and warranty with faster shipment. You can also, one cool thing is that we made this BMS house for the U-Box. Is a LTT BMS. See if you can see, yes. So we can share the file if you use the same Bluetooth BMS for this device. Yeah, thank you, Paul, for having me today. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact our support. And yeah, have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you, Marcus. So let's crack on with a closer look. So regardless from you getting V1 or V2, both ESCs come in a solid aluminium case. This is to increase the heat transfer and also keep the ESCs cool. However, on the newer model, the top of the ESC is black and not green. Well, as I have already mentioned, this ESC is rated to 80 volt. However, due to the risk of voltage spikes, maximum recommended is 16S or 67.2 volt. 125 motor amps and 120 battery amps are supported. So total 240 battery amps and 250 amps for motors. That is absolutely lovely. 3-shunt designed, on and off feature with the button. So you get a button like this delivered with your board. It does also have provision for 4x4, so you have a really long cable to turn on your second double or dual ESC, which is quite sweet. Both ESCs have a provision for an automatic brake light, which is controlled by ppm signal. Maximum 3 amp for the light, which is quite good. So pretty much, guys, if you are hitting the remote to the brake, the light will turn on automatically. So you plug your light straight into ESC. That is really, really sweet. On the power side, you've got XT90 connector. The female side is provided with the kit, so you have the connector to solder onto your battery cables, and it is the anti-spark connector. So what is the main difference between this Bioboard, BioX ESCs and also Spinted? So the biggest difference is that the Bioboard guys paid extra and agreed that in their units they will have a thicker PCB board or the motherboard. For instance, in this unit right here, the board is 60 OZ and 3mm thick. However, in original Spinted, they are 50 and 2mm thin, or thinner by 1mm. Why to increase the thickness of the copper in the PCB? Well, simple. To increase the amperage that these beautiful units can actually take. Most importantly, guys, all the units bought from Bioboards are covered by European warranty. That is good. So let's cover the size. These ESCs are 145 millimeters long, 83 millimeters wide, and they are 27 millimeters thick. You got the fixings or fixing plate on the ESC, so you can fix it to your ESC box or to your battery enclosure or to your deck or whatever you are fixing ESC to with ease. And if you are connecting this box so that it is touching the external wall of the enclosure, the heat transfer will be really nice because it is aluminium. So why would Bioboards come out with V2 after they just came out with V1? Well, very simple. Both units are awesome. Both units can withstand high amps and they're absolutely fine. However, guys pushed it just a little bit further and they decided to add some features to V2 unit. That's the one with the black top. So what are the differences? So the batch 2 with the black top have following updates. All the 12 volt, 5 volt and VCC external ports are protected by recoverable fuse, which is nice. Ignite key and Meta support for e-scooters and e-bike applications. Awesome. So you can use this unit for more than just electrical skateboards. There are 3 12 volt control ports, and these are for your front light, horn and brake light. These are separate 2-pin sockets, okay? And that is absolutely awesome. Obviously you will need a different remote, and these are some remotes you can use. So either the Spinted remote or a few others, or I was told the Bioboards are coming out with their own remote. Nice. So the new remote will have features like Spinted got already, where you can control your light, your horn and your brake light, which is automatic. You don't really need any special remote if you're using one of these just for your brake light. It will work with any remote, as long as you're using PPM signal. Another cool feature about this unit, you actually have a socket for a cooling fan. So you literally plug in and you can have a little fan blowing into your ESC enclosure to keep this ESC even cooler. I'm not going to use this feature, however, it's really nice for someone who using the boards or the DIY builds in really hot countries. CAN bus, insert power on, supported. So it's really easy for 4x4 configurations. There's no need to connect power button from one unit to another. The CAN bus cable will sort out the power on to both units. External NRF or BT socket to replace the former internal BT module. Independent from main UART port, also AB switchable. VCC is now 3.44 volt, so it's 100% compliant with VESC original firmware. So with V1 we had to use a special firmware by Bioboards and only that particular 5.2 updated version. However, with V2 you can use any VESC firm that is coming out from Benjamin Vedder or Tramper. So here we go, that's another benefit. Another thing is that with V2 you now have an external receiver antenna. So if you are to use, for instance, the Spinted remote, you don't really have to install another receiver. This receiver is already pre-installed inside and you can poke the antenna through the ESC enclosure if you are using aluminium enclosure or carbon fiber enclosure, and this will obviously dramatically increase the connectability to your board. And I'm sure you guys are quite interested to see how does this unit actually look inside. Shall we have a look? Well, of course we will. Otherwise it wouldn't be past channel if we don't go deeper than normal people would do. nice and clean. I do like what I see. All the connections are beautiful and really clean. While we are up close, guys, I just wanted to show you that Bioboards have chosen to use the 12 gauge green, really flexible silicone cables for their phase cables for the motors, and also AMR 60 connectors. These are 60 amp rated. So in my opinion, for 4x4 application, this is fine. For just dual motor application, which I'm going to be using, I will be replacing these for 5.5 bullet connectors, just to give it a little bit of more oomph. And as I mentioned before, 10 gauge silicone high temperature cables on the power supply. Again, I'll be replacing that just for something a little bit bigger to match the connector on my DIY battery. This can handle 150 amp in comparison to 90 amp. And yes, I do pull more than 90 amp out of my board for more than 1 second. So this is it for this video, guys. Yes, it's a little bit darker, a bit more romantic. Plus, you can see my sign. Thank you, Alex, and thank you guys for requesting for it to be put up. That's a request from my viewers, which is super awesome. So, BioX, if you are interested, remember, use this code right here if you want to use the Meter Pro. Before we go, just a quick clarification. The new BioX V2 does not have Bluetooth module inbuilt in the unit anymore. This is to save the space, and also because the box is aluminium, the Bluetooth together with the thickness of the ESC enclosure doesn't work as good. So they are now external. So when you buy one of these, you'll get one of these shipped with it. So this is an external Bluetooth module, which just plugs into your ESC. However, I do prefer using Meter Pro. It gives me a lot more options. I just like it. Okay, you can control the board with it. You can change parameters with it. It records all your rides and the rest of it. So that's it, guys. BioX overview. Hope you liked the video. I hope you got all the information you needed from this video. If not, ask me in the comments below. I will always reply. By the way, I've got, for all the UK subscribers, UK viewers, UK members of my group, I've got BioX V1 brand new here in London. It's about to go back to Bioboards. However, if you want it, you can have it for $300, whatever it is in pounds. If you can't pick it up or meet me somewhere in London, you don't have to pay the postage, or I can post it to you. It is a good deal because it's £100 cheaper than what it is, and it's also £50 of duties already paid for it, and the delivery from Bioboards to me already paid for. So you're probably saving roughly $170, $180 on it minimum. So it's up to you. Let me know, or it's going back. That's it for this video, guys. Enjoy your building boards, enjoy riding, do it safely, and I'll see you guessed it right, very soon. Bye.